Hey, there he is, the man in the flesh.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's
been a minute.
I think last time I saw you was I think my grandmother's funeral.
Yeah, dang. That was a long. I think you and James had came by a long. Was it when I still lived in Titusville, I think?
Yeah, you were living with first wife.
Yeah, that's crazy. Man.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while. Dang, it's gotta be 10 years. Close to it.
Has it been 10 years?
Yeah. Bro, because
damn.
I'm 31 now.
How old were you then?
I had to be like 20, 21. I was young.
Wow. Damn, it's all a blur at this point. Like, damn, I'm 30.
Oh, man. That's how you been?
Dude, it's been rough, honestly.
Where?
I mean, some of it's good. It ain't all bad. It's just, inflation. Ain't nobody paying. Everybody losing their goddamn mind.
Bro.
And you saw that message I sent you about that chick the other day. It's just like, yo, come on. Like, can bro get a win on something there?
I know. No, I feel you, man.
Like, how do you respond to a message like that? Like,
bro, when I read that message, I was like, block her.
I did.
Oh,
I was like,
God.
all right, unmatch.
That's unacceptable, man. What is that?
I don't even know, man. Like, bots have more energy than that nowadays.
You know what I mean? That was pretty bad.
That was. And yet, but yeah, all is good overall. Another day, another dollar. Got shit to do. It is what it is. How about you?
Man, everything's been really good. I just be busy all the time. It's like I try to do a hike a week. Yeah. So me and my cousin started this thing where we pick a new hike. I look online, search somewhere in San Diego, and just go to a hike. And we've been doing that consecutively, I'd say, for like at least 10 weeks.
All right.
We've gone on at least 10 hikes already.
Damn.
Yeah.
I see you posting that shit, so.
What's that?
I've seen you been posting that shit. I didn't realize it was like a thing you were actually trying to do versus like being bored and you're like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go for a walk. I ain't got nothing to do.
No, I just I like to be out in nature and stuff, and I'm in a perfect place to be able to actually do it. So I'm like, why not? So me and my cousin, we every single week we go to a new one, and it's been awesome though. And I kind of like do a vlog with it. So I will post that on YouTube and stuff like that.
Nice.
On top of like being a foodie, so we always go to try.
Yeah. I see your food posts on Instagram. I'm like, this nigga's always eating. How is he not fat already? And then you show your workouts right after. It's like, okay.
I gotta balance it.
Hey, you better keep that up though, because when you get married, man, that shit's gonna catch up with you real quick.
I always tell my family, I was like, I'm not getting the Warren gut. I'm fighting it for the rest of my life. I'm fighting it. Like my dad.
All right, man, you in for a battle.
It's in the genetics, as you can see.
Yeah, I saw like your dad. I was like, damn, he got big.
They all. It's. He said he used to have the V, and now he's the B. Yeah. It's happening to my brother too. The married life.
Yeah, dude, it slows you down. Like, you got a kid, you're so much you're doing that you're not really able to work out. So,
dang, I didn't even think. I mean, that takes a lot of your time too. Like, they wake up in the middle of the night. Dang, that's wild.
Yeah, it's you remember Robert Gio from high school?
Yeah, I remember Robert.
Yeah, it's happening to him. He's got 2 kids now, and dude's
I seen a picture he posted the other day. It catches up with you, I guess.
Yeah, you get shredded to get the girl, then once you get the girl, you just
It's a trap.
It's a trap. But the good thing is, unlike us, they don't care as much, so that's good.
Hey, that's true. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if we were dating us like that, man, we'd be. You gotta go. You gotta do something about your weight, whatever. It's a wrap. You're getting divorced. So yeah,
it's a wrap.
Yeah, it is. It is. But I mean, it's cool. What else you been up to?
Let's see. So I'm busy a lot because I've made a pretty big friend group over here. So it's always something going on. Somebody's always like, oh hey, let's go do this. Oh hey, let's go boating over this weekend. Oh, let's go on a road trip. I was like, man, I can't keep up sometimes.
Yeah.
It's just already busy, trying to prioritize gym, then social life, work, all that. It's like, and I do Uber Eats, so my schedule is so irregular. Like I can kind of make my own hours. So yeah, it's easy for me to just be like, somebody's like, oh hey Jay, let's go kayaking. I'm like, all right, I'll turn my app off, So I have to I have to be kind of disciplined, because. But yeah, it's been pretty fun. Just busy, just balancing friends, balancing the podcast, my blog. I'm just, it's stuff I'm already doing, so I'm just like recording it, and then that stuff takes some time, but it's fun though. I enjoy it though. I really do enjoy it. So
that's good. That's good. I get the balance, and I trying to balance it all because. As you know, we were talking offline. I do dancing, and I've been going out like with some of my dance classmates, and I'm trying to like do my job, work out, have a social life, go to dance class, read, like invest. Like it's like, god damn, like do I have any time to do anything else?
It's a lot, man. This whole adulting thing has been like a scam.
No. It's not a scam. It's just unless you're already rich, it don't feel like you're getting enough out of it.
That's facts. Until your time is just all your time.
Yeah. Like that 8 hours a day working just to like it eats at. It's like, dude, I could have spent 3 of those hours at the gym or doing something else.
It takes a whole day. It's crazy.
Yeah. So like for me, what I do is I try to get up early enough to where anything I want to do, Spanish, reading, and working out, all that comes before I even start work.
Nice.
So the earliest part of my day, I usually try to get at my desk that I'm currently sitting at since I get to work from home. I try to get here about 8:30 or 8 at earliest.
So you waking up at like 5 or 6 or something if you're getting all that stuff done?
I should be waking up at 6, but it's been a bitch lately. I've been staying out like irregularly, so I'll stay out to like 11, and I'll stay up to 12, then I'm out to like 2 dancing, and then I'm back to 11. So my body's just like, and I'm still working out on top of it, so my body's just like, you know what, fuck you. You're gonna yeah. But I mean, it like the benefit of having a social life is it does bring a little bit of optimism. Because if you're locked away, and I've done this, where I did 3 jobs and I was doing part-time like engineering school.
Dang.
Like if I wasn't on campus, I was in the gym or I was at some job site, and I wouldn't say completely miserable, but I was damn near there. Where
when do you sleep? You got 3 jobs.
About 4 hours.
That's it. How long of a time did you do that for?
So I gradually I came to Charlotte in 2017.
Okay.
So I started with 1 job, and I was like, this is not enough money. I need a second job. So I got a second job outside of school. And then I was like, all right, cool. I switched to a summer job that was at a golf course, which I'm back there now on the side. Okay. Then I was like, okay, keep the campus job and that job. And I'm like, money's still a little tight. Dang. And then I found this job at a grocery store doing dishes, which just perfectly fit on my weekends. I do like a 10-hour shift at night. And then classes came, and I was like, I'm not giving up this fucking money for nobody. Like, it's like, dude, I was getting paid.
You have that coming in.
Yeah, I was getting paid twice a week on 1 week and then once a week on the other. It's like money was like I didn't have to worry about it. It's like, oh shit, is this what it's like to be rich? Like
there's always got money coming in from 3 ways.
So I did that, and I was like, all right, I'll try to do both this and school. And I it wasn't the homework or anything. It's just the time.
Oh.
Like 4 hours of sleep, bro. You could ask me my name. Like, and I think I had thermo that semester. That spring, my teacher asked me a simple question, man. My brain was like, okay, best I can do is you're here, man. Like, because like 4 hours of sleep, you're constantly like exercising out in the sun, and then you're probably going to bed at 12. Like, I was miserable, and I was just like, the money was nice. It kept me going for a little while, but like, you just get into this pessimistic state, like this day where you're not, because you're not socializing. Because you don't have time.
You don't have time.
And all you feel like you're doing is just work. There's no real break. So your brain needs actually a break. That's why you procrastinate. It's like, hey, shut up. Go over here, do something, and then come back. So I think going into our topic, friends and a social life help keep you more optimistic than just this whole new age American grind culture.
Oh man, I can go in on that one. Man, like, because I mean, so like I do Uber Eats, and so I do make my own schedule, but because I can make my own schedule, I'm like, sometimes I'm just like, I just want money, you know?
Yeah.
And getting into that, you know, that mentality. I actually even have a plaque in my room that says like, you know, hustle facts, and it's got all this like, motivation. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I go on that, but at the same time, you do fall into like some bit of a pessimistic side when you're not giving yourself that break.
Yeah,
because I mean, there be days I was going like 11 to 13 days straight, just trying to work 10, 11, 12-hour shifts and stuff. You know, it's like no days off either. Like, and I'm like,
yeah.
Sometimes you burn out too. You burn out when I start to see those patterns, I'm like, okay, I need to just chill out for a second. Like, take a second.
Yeah, I think it's because we're social creatures by design. Even men, women are more social than men because I mean, look at this. We deal more with things than people. It's not to say we hate people. It's just we do. We're like, you give a boy like a person, he's like, yeah, he's cool, he's fascinating, but give him a motorcycle, he's like, all right, I'm gonna like love this thing like nothing else. Like, it is what it is. But like, we need socialization to kind of like help the brain, because it's part of how we get along. You need people to get through life, whether it's for a romance, it's just, you know, hey, to take a break, someone like a shoulder to lean on or cry on. Right. And because that's, I mean, life, as I've come to learn, life is fair, people aren't. And I say that because life will, if you work at it, life will give you opportunities as best it can, where you're living, who you're dealing with, that kind of stuff. People is where you get the condemnation, the judgment, oh, Jalen is not the kind of person I like, so I don't want to give him this opportunity. Or Ethan's too short. I don't think, like, don't worry about that. Like, people are always going to do that no matter what, in groups, out groups. Like, based on your skin color, your height, past experiences with something. People
have their presumptions.
Exactly. But life is just like, all right, you said you wanted this, here you go.
Hey, that's facts though. That is facts. I have realized, like, going through life definitely, when you really ask for something, life will present it. It will come in some shape or form. It might not always be the shape or form we think it's going to come. Yeah, that's the thing. Because I've noticed, like, I used to have a hell opportunity just coming for like no reason, but I'd be like, no, that's not it, because I'm thinking it's gonna come in this type of box. Yeah. And what I had to start to realize is, like, you know, it's even like being more real, you know, using realism and being realistic. It's like, bro, I gotta like actually look at everything. This is a opportunity coming to me. It might not be in the bow, wrapped in the bow, you know, present that I think that it should come in, but it's still coming, and I have to take it, you know, learn how to take advantage of those. So I think that's the
I'm reading this book called The Happiness Trap, and it kind of talks about like how modern American, this is written like years ago. A friend of mine suggested it to me.
I'm gonna write that down. Happiness Trap.
And it's just like how we're conditioned by society, or we're trying to be conditioned by society, to like happiness is like optimism, like a lot, because you could probably go to a conversation in a cafe, hear somebody, you're just being too pessimistic, you're being too pessimistic, blah, 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 blah. It's like pessimism is emotion.
Right.
And so is optimism. But you cannot be in this blissful, optimistic state at all times. And we're not designed for that. I mean, the modern world is what only existed for the last 80 years, maybe. And with internet, I remember broadband was and dial-up were like two different things at the same time. So let's say what we have now, this day, has only existed for the last 20, 30 years, right? Well, back in 1500s, even further back, we're dealing with wildlife, people trying to kill you. The laws weren't so set. The king didn't have to be just. Right. The queen could be crazy as shit. The sheriff corrupt. Like the same stuff we deal with on a political sphere is always been going on. So your brain is like, hey, it takes in information to protect you. It's like, hey, you're alive. We would like to keep you this way as long as possible. Here's some information based on patterns. I recognize patterns to keep you safe. Do with that information what you will, but I'm going to remind you, you're not safe at all times.
Exactly.
And this book teaches you that you can't control your emotions to the extent society tries to get you to. You could do better at handling them, processing them, and coming to grips with them, but you can't be like, oh, I won't feel fear.
No.
You ever try to, like, I'll throw your ass in a cage with a tiger, you'd be like, all right,
you gonna be running, like, come on. Like, it's like, be realistic, man. You gotta be realistic. Like I feel like some people try to almost make you like almost like a robot. You got like, people have to feel. You have to feel. And there's nothing wrong with feeling fear. You can feel fear when you're going up to talk to somebody that you're like intimidated talking to, but you know you can overcome it. But it's still there. Like people don't talk like that. It's still there. But I read a book that it reminded me of something of what you just said. What was that thing that you just said with the happiness trap? There was something you said there. What was it? It just slipped my mind, but it reminded me of something from a book that I read. It'll probably come back to me later.
Was it The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck?
Dang, was it that one? I love it.
I still haven't bought that one yet. I need to.
I didn't buy it. I read it on or listened to it on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, I use when I'm driving and stuff. I just listen to a bunch of those books because like I'm just driving anyway. So
yeah, I might as well. Yeah. But yeah, I like to read. I like the feel of a book in my hand, and helps me sleep because I'm not staring at a screen for another 16, 18 hours a day.
What would you say is like top three books?
All right, so I'm not big on self-help books.
Right.
A little bit of pride there. Like I try to figure it out. Top three books. All right, so there's two by the same author. Hold on, let me 1 second.
Yeah.
All right, so his name is Don Miguel Ruiz. He's got this book,
The Voice of Knowledge.
Yes, and he's got another one called The Four Agreements. The Four Agreements.
I like that one.
That one's good. This one, the Voice of Knowledge, is really good.
Okay.
It's like that. That I wouldn't say a reassuring voice, but that voice in your head that makes you doubt. Like, hey, Jalen, you may not be good enough for this, or that girl may be looking at you like, oh, look at this, hey, puto negra. You're like, hey. Yeah. So it's like you want to go talk to her, or you want to go take that opportunity. And some of it is to protect you, and some of it is just because he is, I think, Catholic. Mm-hmm. He alludes to it as it being basically Satan or the devil, which I'm like, that's fair, because it's that voice that's like, hey, it's Prince of Lies. He's going to tell you, hey, Jalen, you're not good enough. Hey, Ethan, you're not smart enough. Hey, Brittany. It's that self-doubt voice that, and what it really means and how to like deal with that.
Yeah.
And so I'm reading it in parts. And instead of trying to read it all the way through and then just like, oh, I'm done with it, boom. Just when I need to come back to it, I read the next part and boom. So that's number 2. And the happiness trap, I would say, is number 3 right now.
Number 3.
It really confirmed a lot of stuff I thought years ago. And I was just like, I didn't have the way to like back up what I felt to be true. Because I got a lot of people, you're too pessimistic, you're blah, blah, blah. And I was like, but I got a feeling you guys are just like shooting this at the wrong direction. Like, you're telling me to be happy, but I'm not going to fake being happy. And it's not that I wasn't optimistic.
Yeah.
So I heard, I think it was a study I was listening to. When I first moved here, I didn't have an apartment. So I was driving back and forth for 2 weeks from my mom's place, which is like 2 hours away, to school here.
Wow.
Yeah. I only had classes Monday through Thursday.
Okay. Dang.
So I didn't have to be here till like maybe midday, but still, it was rough. And this guy, I forgot what study they came across, but he's like, the most optimistic people you'll ever meet are usually the most unhappy and depressed.
Dang.
And it's because they keep hoping so much and they keep getting disappointed by people that they end up internalizing it. And it's like, why are you so down? It's like, dude, I'm going to be disappointed by you, so why the fuck should I care? It's like
that reminded me of something. I wrote it down actually, and it's funny you bring it up. Blind optimism, where you totally get blindsided when something actually gets you. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. I used to be a very overly optimistic person. Like, you know, when someone would be going through something, it usually was when other people were going through things. I'm overly optimistic, and they wouldn't really know how to respond to it because I'm always just like, there's always this other way. There's always this, but I also had to come to realism as well and be like, okay, I have to like really see where this person is coming from. Like, I can easily say, oh, just brighten your mood, smile,
Yeah.
But like, until I'm like really there where the person is at, like, I don't know what they're actually going through. Like, they could be going through something so dark and they can't see what I'm even saying. So I had to also realize, like, being realistic, like, I gotta remember there's two sides to everything. You can't just be one fully over here, you gotta find that balance.
Yeah. And the thing I've come to realize about life, besides it being fair, is it has an inherent duality. Like, you cannot have happiness and optimism and good times, bliss with your spouse, your kids are doing well, without, hey, my kid is about to get killed if I don't he better run away because right now I'm gonna kill his ass. Or my wife is upset, or worst case scenario, my wife cheats on me, because she didn't value. And this, you cannot appreciate that, because if it was all happy at the same time, what would be happiness? It would just be, oh, this is normal.
No, that's true.
So, it's like, and I got a cool roommate here. Sometimes he annoys me, but he's a pretty cool kid. He's studying psychology. He's like, it's not about being happy all the time. It's about being happy more than what you allow life to let you feel. Mm-hmm. I'm like, all right, I can fuck with that. Like,
right.
You don't want to force it too hard, but a lot of people get it, or they pitch it in a way. You need to be happy 24/7. Life shouldn't get you down because you'll never get what you want. The universe is gonna pick up on your negativity. It's like, the universe doesn't care. It's indifferent, dude. It's not singling you or me out. Like, oh, Jalen didn't feel happy this 1 second. Now got 12 years of bad luck. Like, the universe is like, bruh, I got the stars. I got these universes to keep in line. I ain't worried about you. Like,
you know what I'm saying? You're just a piece. You're just a piece in it.
Yeah, it's on autopilot. Like, you're dealing with what? This definitely sounds pessimistic because people don't get it. But I was talking to my dad's ex-girlfriend at the time. As you know, my parents split up. And I was like, you're at the mercy of other people's choices in life. And it sounds very pessimistic if you look at it at face value. It's like, oh, dude, you have control. It's like, yes, I could do everything right. I can manage my finances right. I could do everything right. But if this dude running the show in the country decides, fuck it, we're going to go to war with Russia and let's get nuked. What the fuck am I supposed to do with that? Like,
nothing there, you know? I feel like that's where you got to also be like, hey, there's some parts that you can control with you, but there's external stuff that you cannot control.
Bro, yeah.
Totally out of your control. And you just got to, you know, deal with it however you can deal with it, you know? But being able to have that peace of mind, though, that, you know, I can only do what I can do.
Yeah. Yeah, the same with like a spouse cheating on you, or you cheated on your spouse. It's like, yeah, you had control, and it's, you know, temptation comes to everybody. Usually more for men later in life, because as they say, we age like fine wine. But like at the end of the day, like you can't make the person, like let's say, you know, I was with a woman and I, you know, decided I was going to sleep, you know, with somebody else, and she's like, hey, I don't want to be with you anymore. I can't sit here and be like, oh no, you got to be, like, hey, it was a deal breaker for her. I ain't ever going to do that. That's not how I want to make somebody feel. But sometimes you just have to just understand or accept that people are going to make their own choices.
Facts.
And you could look at things the best and brightest way, be the most optimistic, and life will still be like, hey, this fucker right over here about to, like, they're not good for you. And you'll just be like, no, because we're feeling creatures. Oh, my feelings. It's a little bit of realism. And I think realism doesn't always have to come from inside you. It doesn't have to be internal. It could be that friend, be like, hey, yo, that girl she ain't the one, dude. Like, leave her. Like, I know you're having fun, but keep it just fun. Like,
right.
She's about to fuck you over if you don't catch it.
Right.
And same with girls. Like, have a guy friend that is okay with being your guy friend. Not be, oh, I consider him a guy friend and he's secretly trying to fuck you.
Right.
He's like, yeah, we're cool. And that way you're like, oh, what about this guy? Nah. Like, I should have been a better friend to my friend, but I didn't know how to go about it. Really, we were still friends, but she was telling me about a guy. They were doing a long distance relationship, and as soon as she mentioned that he was getting flirted with by this like banging Latina, I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, he's gone. Like, dude is gone. No matter what he says, oh, you know, I love you. Like, yeah, I've been to a couple social dances. As I told my friend there, like, these women know exactly what they're doing with the way they dress.
They know what they do.
They know they're going to get attention. Now, they don't want a certain type of attention, which is fair. But they're going to get a certain type of attention from the guy that they probably would like to meet out there. They don't know who they're going to meet. They're just hoping to catch maybe that guy. Or maybe they just want to dress a certain type of way. I don't care. But they know we look. And it's like, come on now.
Yeah, of course. Hey, we visual creatures. That's just what it is.
I mean, so are they, but they just don't admit it as much.
Oh, fact.
You can't be no fat ass dude with drool coming out of his mouth and grease stains. Like, you gonna get an Oprah unless she's, I don't know any girl that picked that one.
No, let's just be honest here.
I don't know anyone that picked that. I've met some girls that are questionable as far as hygiene, but even then, they still probably would have picked that dude. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like, just be honest. It's important. Hygiene, all that stuff is super important. That's the basics.
But like, they control how they dress. They control how they move. But they can't control what guy comes up to them.
Right.
Which I laugh when girls like, I don't want a guy to hit on me here, or when it's like, you have no control. Like, stop controlling that. You can control how you respond to it. Be like, hey, I'm not feeling you, or boom. You don't have to be nasty. You can be straight, curt, dry. Boom. Put that knife in the heart. Be like, yo.
Yep.
But
quick and easy.
Yeah, I respect it. Like, your sister. When I had a crush on her, she was like, nah, bro. I was like, all right, cool. But she didn't fuck around. She wasn't like, oh, I love you. It was just like
lead you on and stuff, and like
exactly. So
this whole merry-go-round.
Yeah, so even from that, I'm like, all right, it sucks, but you know, I respect you for that. Right. Versus just, oh well, I love you like a brother. I would love to keep you. Like, don't come on. Just put a knife in the heart,
Just
twist, put me out my misery, let me go like die in the sand, and then it will be yeah. But I wish I was a better friend. I told my friend straight up, like, yo, your boy about to like, he about to leave. I've been around Latinos, man, like, and she's built the way you're describing, and I'm just like, I love you, but I might leave. Like, you over there in Shanghai, I'm here in America. Like,
oh man, that is
he shouldn't have lied. He should not have lied to her, but he was kind of scared, and I get it. When you're young as a guy, you're like, I don't know how to handle breaking a woman's heart, because you know it can go from either that sucks, I really wish you had told me, to you fucking bitch, just slashing your tires and shit like that.
I've been there.
Yeah. You know, I get it. So you kind of like, yeah, I should have been a better friend, but now I'm a little bit better. I wish I could have been more realistic in my friend's time of need.
Right.
But not too realistic. Not too realistic. Yeah. Another friend has accused me of like, sometimes you come off as a little too much of an ass. I'm like, bro, I don't even know what to tell you, because you ask me my thoughts. I tell you that, you ignore them and go ahead with something I already told you I think is stupid, and you're gonna hurt yourself. And you're like, I'm pouring my soul out to you. I'm like, I get that, but I can't really relate because I feel you're being foolish. So you're setting yourself up.
As a friend, being like, you know, you being more of like a realistic person, how would you say, like, for another person that's really realistic but like might come off, you know, I guess brash? How would you say that you kind of like adjusted that? Like, have you been able to like adjust it, or?
I'm in the process of adjusting it. I know part of my asshole kind of vibe is just I'm learning to not give a fuck as much. Okay. So I'm not overly optimistic, that blind optimistic person, or kind of still am. Because like I'm very dogged when I want something. Like if I want something, oh Ethan, there's nothing like dance. People, oh well, why you dance? Fuck you, bitch! Like I'm dancing. Like I love dance. I don't care. But I've used my optimism badly with people, and it's hurt in some areas. And sometimes I knew it was coming, but I didn't want to believe it. That denial.
It was kind of like
you're trying to be
keeping that tunnel vision. Yeah. I feel
because you want to be optimistic about it working out, but then you see every sign, and that's why that girl that texted me and I sent you that, I already knew that. I was like, and bye. Like we ain't playing that game. I've done that
down that route.
Yeah, after like I tried to even like give it a second little nudge, and it was like, you know, she's dead. Fuck it.
That's
just stop. And it hurts more, not because you're optimistic. I mean, you're gonna blame yourself for like, oh, I'm optimistic, or this person was this, but at the end of the day, you know it was you, so you're more mad at yourself for something you wish you could control better.
Right.
Take it out at the person, because honestly, they're the focal point.
Yeah.
Whether they want to be or not, it's like,
someone else that you can blame for it.
That, and it's easier because when you're dealing with yourself, you can't always see the source of the problem, and your brain does not like spending too much time trying to figure shit out.
That's nice.
So you're like, hey, easiest scenario is it was this person, and sometimes they really aren't a good fit. Most of the time they really aren't. I mean, what, 3.9 billion women on the planet?
They outnumber us.
Actually, no.
Is it new now?
Yeah, I was talking to my mom one day, and she was like, "Oh, there are more women than there are men." And I was like, "Let's double check that." I was like, "I'm pretty sure there's more men." Now it varies from country to country, but globally, we beat them by like 0.69.
Wow, that's new.
Yeah, it's between some nations being like, "Hey, we don't want females. We're about to kill her as soon as she's born," to just the, you know, random luck of the draw. You know, you have a boy, because like my mom grew up around boys. Like she only had brothers, no sisters. And then most of my cousins on my mom's side are boys, but now we're getting more girls. So it's like it's a pattern, I guess.
It bounces itself out somehow later down the road.
Yeah, nature will take care of itself. Nature's never going to let an imbalance get too crazy. It's like we got this many dudes. Somebody's going to spend the rest of their life jacking off, or he's going to at least have, or some girl's going to have at least 5 dudes that they can. Like the problem tends to try to solve itself. Tends to, not all the time. But going back to our main line, like overly, like when you're trying to wrestle with your blind optimism, you tend to blame other people. Like this one chick, oh my god, the one I mentioned about from Spain, not the one that ghosted me, the other one that I hooked up with.
Okay, yeah.
That one, yo, bruh, that one hurt. That one hurt a little bit more. Yeah. I saw it coming, but I didn't want to believe it.
Yeah, I feel that.
I mean, that was fairly recently, and I was just like, damn it, we're still here. But that's the one thing about this. I found this chick on Instagram. She's like a therapist, but she is like, just because you're dealing with the same situation months down the line after you decided to try to get better with it doesn't mean you haven't made any progress. And I was like, yeah, I feel that, but at the same time, it's like
at the same time,
like, how do I track my progress at the same time? But I'm learning to be less of an asshole. I try to listen more, like not be so quick to be like, oh, just need to do this. Okay, you know, asking what do you really feel, like what else is going on, because people won't always give you a full picture of what's going on.
Oh yeah,
that's something I learned. It's like case in point, my friend Michelle. Hi Michelle, if you're watching this. She really sweet girl, and at one point she asked me, and this is when I was working at 3 jobs and doing school, she called me up, and she never would call me, like ever. Like we text maybe, but more see each other in person. And she calls me, so I answer. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, hey, remember that guy I brought up that's been into me, but I'm not into? Like, how do I deal with them? And I was like, knife to the heart, make it quick. Like, don't play no game. Like, as a guy, don't like, just
do that.
And so she ends up taking my advice. Yes. And we meet up for lunch, I think the following week or whatever, and she's telling me and a couple friends we're with the story, and the only thing she left out was the dude was white. I thought he was Asian, so I was giving her advice like, okay, if he's another little Vietnamese dude, this is how I think he should handle it because of what I've been around as far as Asian culture. You should be able to get away with it like this.
Okay.
She did not tell me he was white and American. I was like, oh shit, I would have told you a whole different, like, yo, because like, of course, as she's telling me, he started freaking out. You'll never find anybody better than me, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah. See, had you told me he was white, I would have definitely told you that to expect that. Don't laugh. But she didn't think of it. It wasn't like a major, but that definitely gave me the thought, okay, people aren't always thinking of every little thing they're going to need to tell you. Even sometimes they know that you may judge them, like, hey, I'm messing with this married woman, yo, Jalen, but I'm telling you this girl's giving me mixed signals. What I didn't tell you is she's married, but she loves her husband, and I'm just a side piece, but I want to elevate my status. So you're giving me advice based on thinking she's just a single chick.
Right.
And so
that's, I see, it's like there's some fine lines, like,
yeah, so you're trying to give realistic advice and being optimistic at the same time for that situation, or you're trying to be well, you're probably be more optimistic in that because like, oh dude, just stay with it, blah 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 blah. But if I told you she was married, you'd be like, bro, be realistic, she ain't leaving her. See how your tone switches? It's like, yo, fuck, dude, come on now. Like, do you really want to be the side nigga? And if she leaves him for you, she gonna leave you for somebody else.
Somebody else, because you just started it that way. Like, that's literally how you started it. It's gonna be the same way.
I will say there is a caveat. If dude is a real